A very happy morning, everybody, and welcome back to our Sunday morning session. Today is a very special day. It is Guru Purnima, right? So, as we celebrate the birth date of Yogi Ved Vyasa on Guru Purnima, it is the perfect day to express our gratitude and our reverence to all our senior masters, gurus, and everything from wherever we have gained some knowledge. Ved Vyasa has given us beautiful scriptures, like the Mahabharata and the Bhagavad Gita, which teaches us life lessons, how to live our life, and to understand one consciousness, the Atma, as well as the Par Brahma. So we have learned all these beautiful lessons from these beautiful scriptures, which has been brought to us by a long list of gurus and other rishis, other masters, other, say, people have written other scriptures. But the basic knowledge has flown from these beautiful scriptures which we have written and given to us by Ved Vyasa. So as we celebrate this day, I think this is the perfect day also to honor and acknowledge all the works of all other masters who have been in this series of giving us knowledge. And I choose this day also to welcome Jagdish sir on our platform. And we will be hearing his experiences, how he got into meditation, and just a second, yeah. So, how he got into meditation and what are his life experiences. But before that, I would like to, good morning, Jagdish sir. Let me just bring you on board first.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Um, Sir, everyone is very familiar with you here, and I don't really think I need to introduce you to my group here. Sir has been a guru to many, many. He's a very humble person. He does not, express it through his whatever he speaks, and he's a very, very humble person. But when I actually came to know his profile, I was quite spellbound myself. Okay. So I would love to introduce Sir first to all of you. So he's a retired professor of the Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore, with his basic qualifications being physics and maths, electronic engineering, followed by an MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. He has also been a research scholar as a beneficiary of the Ford Foundation and the UNDP. He has worked in both public and private organizations and has abundant experience as a management consultant, mostly in the field of informative systems. I welcome you, sir, here. And there is one more tiny thing I would like to share, which he has not shared in his profile. He has a deep love for comics, especially the Archie comics, which I came to know once when we were having a talk. So he's not all seriousness or anything like that. He's a wonderful person, a great friend, and a great mentor. So today I welcome you here to share your experience in meditation, how you got into meditation, with your humongous work which you have been doing throughout your life. How did you get time out for meditation and your experiences? Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I would also like to begin with my pranams to all the gurus who have touched my life and made it very wonderful. Incidentally, since you mentioned Vedavyas, his another epic was the Srimad Bhagavatam. It means the story of God, but actually it's a book full of metaphors, very metaphorical stories about life and how to handle them, and mainly lessons of based on experiences of others through the so-called story of God. It's a very high, big compendium, but very wonderful to read. It's very metaphorical. Having said that, now point is how and why did I become a very strong advocate meditation? Before I go straight directly into that, my experience that made me this, I'd like to share you something that triggered me to talk about this last week when we were speaking about grudges, right? In the meditation, you talk about grudge, and suddenly that's when I said, "Look, I want to share what happened to me, particularly last week." The reason was very humbling because, uh, honestly, I don't bear grudges. I have bear no grudge about anyone, though I have been through quite a bit of tumultuous life, both professionally and in my personal life. There has been a situation where a boss who everyone thought I was his apple eye, blue-eyed boy, actually tried to get rid of me. But I know bear no grudge for it. He had to quit the job. But to even today, we share greetings, and he's a great fan of mine. So this is what happens when you don't bear grudge. Your relationships, everything becomes stronger. This happened to me on several occasions. So I've been very proud that somehow nature has given me this ability not to bear any grudge. I'll just brush it off. But last week when we were in meditation, I realized and that is not true at all. As a young person, I did have a lot of, and probably that is what led to me meditation. In order to say that, I think I'll have to bore you a little with my personal life, my early life, my family life, which you can say a little ego trip, I should say. You see, I come from a reasonably well-to-do family. So there was no such thing for as an ambition for me that I have to be that. I have to read a lot, I have to study a lot, I have to make money and all that. That kind of ambition with many of my classmates had even at a much postgraduate level, I never had that because things were there for me, not in a very. The reason why was I am the last child of 10 children, and after a very long gap, the difference in age between my eldest sibling, which was a brother, and me was 30 years. So you can imagine how my life was. So my first grudge when I found as a youngster was this anger as to why I was the last one. And though I said we were well-to-do, most of what my father's and parents' attention, both physically, others would have gone to my siblings who are much, much, much older than me and their education. So, pardon? Yeah. Also, you see, my father was a very recognized professional, reporting directly to the then Finance Minister C.D. Deshmukh. And even the Minister of State of West Bengal had to report to my father. That's the kind of situation. Also, for me, also, he was somewhere up there. And so when it came to school admissions, when it came to parental meeting, it's only usually some representative of us from the office or friends has to do it, not my parents, because my parents were already old. And that was my grudge. I used to my friends, talk about the parents coming and helping in the homework. Nobody had was that help. Of course, my siblings did help. So this was my first grudge, my anger. Why? The second, probably indirectly, that I used to feel. By the way, there was a lot of love for me. My parents did. My particularly father. After I lost my mother at a young age, my father showered his love by material base. Okay, he used to put me in good education, he used to buy me what I want and things like that. Though I never asked for them. That was not the issue. But the point is, I felt I was, because my parents are away and I was left to the care of my siblings, I felt that was unwanted child and I was unloved. So this went on for a long time because even at college, when I had to manage my own applications, when I saw other parents helping the children coming, file their applications, so on and so forth, I had to do everything myself. So I think this grudge against my own parents, against my father there. And probably it is this many years later led to a very severe migraine. See, I was so disciplined that I had this grudge. I never acknowledged the grudge. Probably if I had acknowledged the grudge and talked to my parents, I never spoke to them. Though I talked to them, probably I wouldn't have had this prayer. So so-called discipline that I was in, I thought it was not good to have grudges. And so I never had a grudge, so to say, or at least proud that I had no grudge. This is what led to a very severe migraine for several years. Went to several doctors, one of the best of the doctors, neurologists, nothing helped. And so one day, I think it was around 1970, at late 78, 79, I was already postgraduate. I had started my profession as an academic. Before that, I was in a defense establishment as an engineer. Now, at this time, I, like say synchronicity, by chance, through a friend, colleague, I happened to meet Rishi Prabhak. Rishi Prabhakar is one of the meditators who was a guru, meditating guru. He was also an electronics engineer, incidentally, teaching in Caltech in California. So that's how I could accept him, a fellow electronics engineer, and who's doing this. He had a small ashram in Bangalore, where he lived with his mother. At that time, I was a bachelor. So I went to him, and he trained me in meditation for about 3 months. Within a month, of that, just 20 minutes of meditation, I got completely cured of. So after that, I began meditating almost every day, 20 minutes, because of my professional commitments, which took me a lot of traveling around within the country, outside the country, so on and so forth. So I used to meditate only when I get time. I would remember it, but probably not as consistently as I should have. As it went along, once what happened was suddenly my left knee started giving a pain. And this is where the miracle of meditation comes. It started with a light pain and then became stiff and became shooting. I couldn't bend my knee at all. Even slight attempt to bend the knee became right. It was shooting right up to the yeah, doctor that I went to was an orthopedist. What he did was, it was a very new technique called arthroscopy. They put a probe into the knee and check, After doing that, they said, no, no, there's nothing wrong. There may be a small cyst there. And later on, and he was himself so new to the technology, he didn't know how to do it. So that's why I had opened my knee, put this probe, etc. Then whatever therapies you can call it, and then of course medicines. And then it actually, since that treatment was wrong, the leg became worse and worse. So much so that again, when I considered a senior doctor, whom a colleague again had taken to me, a colleague was a former senior mentor of mine, had taken me doctor all the way to Kerala, said, young man, you have got osteoporosis and your bones in the knee are deteriorating. I'm sorry, unless you are very careful. Like, for example, you should not use steps. By the way, I used to be a motorcycle dragster. That's one of the greatest. I had a group of 4 people who used to go on motorbike dragging races regularly. So the question of motorcycle had stopped already. I couldn't bend my knee at all. So no cycling and no standing for more than 5 minutes. So how do I? I'm a teacher. So sorry, you have to sit down and teach. No, that was very awful. And he said, in spite of it, if particularly if you are not careful, you'll have to use a wheelchair. I had already started using a crutch incidentally to help me. So I said, so you have to use a wheelchair. Well, nobody could diagnose it. I said, maybe I have to do that. I'll wait for it. But it so happened I still had to travel. It so happened I was in the US at that time. In fact, when this diagnosis, just before the diagnosis was made, they had an MRI which was not available in India. And what they did through the MRI was discovered that what had maybe somewhere along one of my drag race where I would have fallen or injured myself, my cartilage had got, the left knee has got split into two. Cartilage damage is not very uncommon among particularly people, especially older people and sports people. It had not only cut, it had got twisted itself and got trapped between the knee joint. No, you can imagine what the situation was. So the doctors in the US said there's no problem at all. It'll just take us 1 day, 1 hour, we'll just clip your cartilage and put an artificial cartilage there. I said, no way. I had one bad experience. I'm not going to let any. Incidentally, even my migraine, when doctors gave me a prescribed number of drugs, medicines, I said, no, I'm not going to take those. I said, no, nobody's going to touch. So there's no, this is not India. You see, you will be able to walk normally within a week. You can go back to India even after a week if you want, etc. I said, sorry, nobody will touch. At least I know what it is now. I'll know what it is and I'll try to bear my pain. So afterwards, when I was in India, it suddenly occurred to me. By the time it had become very bad. Okay, I couldn't sit down. I had to sit down, and it was very embarrassing. I couldn't go to public events because I had to ask them for a chair to with a leg to stitch on and keep my crutch somewhere. So I stopped my social activities. Then I recall, look, migraine was the pain I cured. At least to cure my pain, why don't you start meditating? So what I would do is every day there is a Sri Sai Baba's ashram close by to me. Uh, Close by is not very far away, about 3 kilometers away. So I said, I started going in the morning. They have a big meditation auditorium, what is called a meditation center, very quiet. So I would go there, sit in silence for about half an hour with the mere intention. Intentions matters a lot. Intention that I will be able to walk. No wheelchair. Very gradually, one day, even I was starting, I found that I could stretch, bend my knee with little pain, slowly bending. Then I got up without the crutch, slowly bend my knees and walk. And over again, within I don't know how much time, I became a perfectly normal person with no surgical knife on my knee. And I could walk. After that, the people surprised how I could lead everyone, and I could walk. I can walk pretty fast. I began trekking, and so on and so forth. Now, of course, I don't trek a lot. As such, those who just love it. But I do walk a lot, quite a lot, without any hassle. My house is built in a two-tier house. My bedroom and where I'm sitting study is actually upstairs. And got steep stairs. I keep climbing up and down the stairs probably 100 times a day. I have no problem. So is there any doubt why I became an advocate of meditation? I discovered the miracle of meditation, say 40 years ago, because of this. Much later, I came across Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, You Are the Placebo, which was again uh, given to me or recommended to me a doctor. We were talking about all these things, and he gave me this, suggested this book. He is also in a kind of spiritual book, and we used to exchange a lot of ideas about books. That's when I discovered what I did was what Dr. Dispenza prescribed. And of course, there was this, even earlier, I read this book called The Power of the Subconscious Mind, another beautiful book. In fact, three very inspiring books as I consider. I have honestly been very fond of books, mainly English literature and so on and so forth. So, uh, this uh, among all the books, many inspiring books I have read, among these I think considers was Jonathan Livingstone because it inspires from the younger to the highest. Then Dr. Murphy's Power of the Subconscious Mind, and more recently Dr. Joe Dispenza's both the books, You Are the Placebo, as well as the Being Supernatural. So, of course, Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now and the Practicing of Power of Now and the New Earth and so on and so forth books. So, this is how I am inspired being a meditator. I advocate meditation, and I consider meditation miraculous, not only in terms of healing yourself as a person, but healing yourself, life itself, your attitude, so on and so forth. Incidentally, just again, going back to my ego trip, uh, when I actually lost my mother when I was still studying, that also made me angry. I didn't say it was a grudge. I realized that was one of the grudges I had. Why was she old? And why did they take away so early, so on and so forth? And that is what, though I was already fond of literature, uh, I began getting into spiritual reading and philosophy, so on. That directed me towards that. So in the process, what I had believed was I will not go again, get married and start a family and so on and so forth. My ambition, my real passion was to be alone and become a poet. My ambition always, I visualized a small bungalow with a dog. I was always a dog lover. I've always reared dogs. With a dog for a companion and a man Friday to take care of my cooking and my household work. And I want to be very passionate about being a poet. But things happen, you go through. Life required. Like physics, actually, nobody advised me to do things I want to do. So I just like physics. I joined BSc. Then I actually joined JJ College of Architecture. I wanted to be an architect. I didn't mention that because I didn't complete it. I quit that and came back as an electronics engineer and so on and so forth. I've just rambled along. So when people say I have ambition, you have a goal, and etc., I smile to myself. I'm so lazy. I never had a goal. I had no ambition, but there is always this universe which cares for you. That's why I use the gurus I talked about. Universe appoints, assigns a guru to you. Who look, you must have read the surrendering experiment by Michael Singer. That's exactly what my life. So there is always somebody who guided me through. Mumble, I had no ambition. I didn't set up goals for anything. I'm not boasting myself. I've had 5 jobs in my life. I never applied. I never applied for anything. They came to me as an offer. So this is how life has been for me. And today, somehow I did give an, so I don't even bear a grudge against my wife for having spoiled my beautiful dream of being a bachelor. Uh, I accept her, and I'm an. You won't believe it. I enjoy. I have a house. I'm independent. I have beautiful daughters who are professionally, who their professional, their husbands, very successful people who studied abroad, worked abroad, studied abroad, and I have nothing to ask for. 3 beautiful grandchildren who like me very much. What more can one ask for in life? I'm today 81 years. At any moment, I'm prepared to take leave of this world because I know I lived my life. And meditation is the miracle. Thank you. If any questions you have, I don't mind personal questions also.
Wonderful, sir. It was such a pleasure listening to you. There was few more things which you have added today, which I was not, familiar with. But yes, at every stage, I can see a lot of things which are familiar. We say that we've got some ailment, but basically they're just opportunities for us to learn, and to get into more deeper learnings. So I think we should be expressing gratitude even to our problems because they help us to become what we are today.
True.
So thank you so much, sir. And any of my friends, if you would like to ask some question or something, Chandra sir had joined. I don't know. I don't see him now.
Okay.
Yeah, he was there listening to you, but I think he has left over.
Okay.
Yeah, any of my friends, if you have any questions for sir, please most welcome. Today is the perfect day. And so with the vast experience of 40 years, I think sir is the best person to answer any doubts, any questions you have. जो अभी तक आपको it has not been answered. So see, his everything is a divine plan, as sir said. He never really. I mean, I don't know. I don't believe you, sir. I am Ahmedabad and then teaching in IIM Bangalore. You're saying you did not have a goal. It's really really commendable. So yeah, and with your healing and that inner child which I talk about, I think we all have that inner child somewhere, and we all have those little grudges, especially with our parents. Yeah. Yes, come on, anybody. At least share your thoughts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Jagdish. Sorry, I'm
Yeah, morning.
not able to switch on the camera right now, but I just want you to elaborate further about how to keep this practice, go deeper and deeper into this. What has been your experience about going deep into the meditation?
Yeah, I think it's a very profound question. My answer may not be very profound, but the point is, I told you I used to do a 20-minute meditation, and I was very inconsistent before until actually I got healthy and I became a little more consistent. But I still had this problem of finding time for it, so on and so forth. And what happened was, I had this interest in life. So one of the things that I had a panic of water, so I wanted to learn. Though in spite of not knowing swimming, I had gone into in Maldives. I have gone into I'm sorry, both Maldives as well as our Lakshadweep. I have gone into scuba diving with the help of, well, I have gone snorkeling, so on and so forth. So the thing, but one thing was I wanted to learn how to swim. So at the age of 70, after my professional things were finished, I started going to my club. I used to be a member, but I never I used the club every morning for swimming. Okay, so uh, there was this question of not no ability to sit down for meditation in the morning. So that's the kind of attitude. But then what happened was COVID came. Two things happened. My traveling stopped and swimming stopped completely. My swimming pool closed. I look at synchronicity through an indirect thing. I received a mail from Mr. Karthikeyan about this 40-day meditation program from Buddha CEO. I didn't notice 40 days. If I had 40 days, I wouldn't have joined. There was too much, I thought, workshop. So I just, I wanted to be consistent. I had read Joe Dispenza, I used to do every evening some meditation, but not consistent. That is how I joined the Buddha Seva. And that time onwards, every morning I started meditating consistently. Now, when you say consistent, it does not mean that you go into deep meditation every time. I had already learned that meditation means silencing your mind. Buddha CEO Chandra particularly, I was very much impressed with the fact the way he could add scientificity in a way that people can explain. I might have understood this thing before, but the way he put it, I started admiring a person who was much younger to me who could explain this. So probably as a teacher, I might not have been able to explain. That made me very consistent. So if you want to say how to go deeply, etc., don't expect to go in deep. What is depth in meditation? Even when you do, you just sit down and relax. Let go. Forget the use of the word meditation. Just let go. Starting from your toes, probably you start thinking of relaxing. You will see you are just in a floating world. Now, when you start floating in that, you may not know, gradually you go into deep. When you start meditating in a formal way that like we do, when you give up thinking about anything, thoughts will come, right? Now, you are living in an urban area, you always experience the noise of traffic. In fact, Eckhart Tolle has written a beautiful book called Stillness Speaks. Stillness is full of aphorisms. He says how we can become transparent to every noise around us, every distraction around. So as urban people, we are now become totally transparent to the traffic noise, right? Similarly, when you start meditating with the intention to meditate, all the thoughts which are about usually about the past and the future, when they keep coming, you just become transparent to it. Let them happen. Let them. Don't worry that. Don't even think. Though they say that, don't think, oh, I'm thinking now. Let me go back to my breath. Just don't bother. It happens automatically. So today, probably at least 60% of the time that I sit down, I go into what you call deep meditation. Many people talk about deep meditation would go into third eye experience, pineal gland experience. You got visions, you got messages, you got some people come and talk to you. That may be for a small percentage. It has happened to me once or twice. Probably because the duration, length of years have been. But otherwise, it does normally happen. You just feel a swelling come. It's only when you finish meditation, you realize you had a deep meditation. You may not know that you had a deep meditation. So all that is just let go, let thoughts come. Don't pay attention to them. If by any chance attention goes to them, it is a natural process. Don't try to do anything about it. Don't try to say, oh, I'm going into thoughts, let me come back to breath, etc. I don't even. Though it's natural, like even Dr. Newton puts it beautifully, just be with the rhythm of the breath. So if you're just there, don't try to focus, don't pay attention to your breath, etc. Just be with the rhythm. Because normal life, what do we do all daily life? We don't even realize that we are breathing. But when you're silencing your mind, so to say, or when you're sitting down, you start realizing that you're breathing. You accept that you're breathing. Once you do that, once you get conscious of the fact you're breathing, deep meditation happens automatically. Many times you may not know it does happen. You realize it much later. And because deep breathing, body is a natural pharmacy. So cortisol levels come down. So it allows other neurotransmitters to release their chemicals. So all the other good chemicals, hormones, which the universe is designed to take care of body, will take care of it naturally. Any pains, anything are there. It will come. Knee pain one day, headache pain yesterday. But when you meditate, just have an intention that it will go and it will go. That's all. But the fact that you get a clarity of mind, it gives tremendous scope for creative. Your ability to read, your ability to understand, your ability to acknowledge, your ability to enjoy life. All this happens because the mind is free. It's available. It's not clogged up with other thoughts. It is not clogged by what I have to do. And probably one of the things, I never had any ambition and goal, and probably that mind was clear. I could clear a lot of exams. Incidentally, uh, I'm a certified hypnotist. So I have practiced hypnosis also. And I won't recommend this unless you're a doctor or a psychiatrist who can use it for therapy. Please don't try that. Meditation is that's what I would like.
Beautifully answered. Thank you so much. Yes. Yeah,
Thank
if
you
you
so
want to
much.
say anything further, please carry on. I interrupted maybe.
No. It's perfect. That's I wanted to answer your question. But yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Jagdish. This is Latika.
Yes.
I started meditation with Jasveer around 4 years back.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, you've answered my question. I was also going to say this deep meditation thing. It's only been once that I got this. I've never had these visions or whatever it's supposed to happen. But yes, once I do it, I feel very, very nice. I think that's the only thing I've achieved in whatever I've been able to do for the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping after hearing you, after hearing Jasveer and few more people whenever I get an opportunity, that I think I was a little guilty that I'm not very consistent again because of my professional, assignments or whatever. But I do try to do as much as I can. So I think with intermittent meditation also, it's very helpful. That's what I've understood today after listening to you.
Sure. Intermittent meditation is also helpful, but it's not very recommended because it has to
I
become a
know,
habit.
I
That's it,
would.
right? Today, of course, not intermittent to me at all. And I meditate morning and evening. But sometimes I feel guilty. Maybe I'm meditating too much and ignoring something else, right? Some household chores because it's so beautiful for me. I sometimes don't realize after reading a book, I just say, okay, I just clasp my hands or close my eyes. I don't realize 1 year, 1 hour has passed. I get that. So probably I'm ignoring other things. Okay, sometimes it happens that also because so enjoyable. Meditation for me is very enjoyable.
Yes, some of the days are excellent. You really, after it, you feel there's something different about it. That's all I can say.
Yes. Because we are actually getting in touch with our true world, true conscious. We are connected to the outside world. Quantum physics, and one is quantum physics. You must read astrophysics, and particularly the recent. Uh, it's amazing. I was a physics student, and what I read now is million times more than what we had learned in modern physics today. And it's so amazing. Sometimes I wonder why are these people getting no Nobel prizes for this? Because ultimately it means nothing. Just accept these are all illusion and you're part of the world. Why are they spending so much money, so much mathematics formula? You're really cramming their brains. Ultimately, lead what? You are part of the universe. You are a dust, nothing else. We are part of it. Just accept that, float, and you enjoy. So all this, even I interested so much of astrophysics. I also read a lot about black holes, and it's only possibly because of some cerebral gymnastics that I'm interested in, nothing else.
I think
Just
life has become too complicated. It is actually simple, and if we go back to the simple part of it, that's the best thing.
you don't have to be simple. It's nice to, I think, no, because we have a brain. When we have this capacity, it tries to exercise itself, and these gymnastics problems. But different people have different kinds of gymnastics. These are all cultural things. So, yeah, Sometimes I wonder why I do this. That's all. Ultimately, just live your life. All this, right across my house, not close by, is a slum. They are from Tamil Nadu, probably. Most of these people come from Tamil Nadu, migrate here, and they very, very hard workers, and they're poor. Can I go and talk to them about philosophy? Can I talk to them Sartre? It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't, right? Instead, tell them. I'll tell you a very, very, very interesting. I don't know whether I said this in platform somewhere. See, mine is a corner house, okay, with a little garden, so on and so forth. And one day, my wife was also not there. I was standing near the gate and just watching in the afternoon, and two urchins of belonging to the slum came around, fooling around with themselves, beating, hitting each other, playing games. And they started, they thought they will tease me. One of them, sir, see, this boy is beating me. I said, so you also beat him? I say, what prevents you? I said, he didn't expect that. I said, yes, where is grandma? Meaning my wife. Okay, I don't know in Tamil what they say. Okay, whatever. Grandma. I said, why? No, we had a chiku tree, which I have of course trimmed down. A lot of chiku seen on the road, and we used to get plenty, we used to distribute. So she used to always give us chiku. I said, why only grandma? Can't I give you a chiku? Then I said, come see. Right now there's no season. You see, there's no plant. When there are chikus, come and ask me. I'll give you. They just smiled and said, uh, and they said, look, there are other people as you guys. No, sir, other people are bad people. Why do you say people are bad? And about, I said, are you bad? And you won't believe with all seriousness that they, yes. Society has made them believe. These are called limiting beliefs, right? We're slum boys, and everyone on the road must be shouting at them because they way pull around, etc. They keep shouting at them, hey, go away, run away when they ask, etc. So I said, are you bad? They said, yes, come. I sat down on the footpath next to them. I said, look, do you think God has made you? Yes, sir, God made me. So will God make bad people? They thought, no, sir. So why do you say you're bad people? Did somebody tell you? Somebody has told you they're telling lies, no? Just 5 minutes of chatting with them, they got up with a big smile. I told them, next time, don't ever believe you're bad. They went out with a smile. I hope it changed their transformed them. Hopefully. This is what happens. We are there, but the way we talk to people, we tell them, etc., or in their own thing, they start having their own beliefs. Right? Maybe meditation taught me this, or spiritual thinking taught me this kind of a thing. So ultimately, we are one. We're all there. We are part of that consciousness. Yes, all this knowledge is required. All this science is required. Try to understand these things. But even when if you don't understand, it doesn't matter. Like these young people, please tell them, take them. That's all. Thank you.
I think this one consciousness is the best thing I've understood from whatever, that has made me very, very, as you said, now I don't see bad in anything.
Correct. You're right. Absolutely.
I think that is all we have to understand. All our various gurus, our senior masters, all our scriptures, they all have been trying to explain oneness, one consciousness, but giving it different names. Here, I would just like to mention, sir, I've been trying to understand the Bhagavad Gita too. In the chapter 10, when he describes his Vishwaroop, right? He says that, one consciousness has been compared to an ocean, and all these waves are different gurus who are coming, like avatars, like Krishna, Vishnu. They're all different. The Dasha avatars have been described as different waves. So when
Correct.
he says his Vishwaroop, that is, he sees thousands and millions of faces, eyes, suns, millions, all the whole universe, galaxy, that exactly is what one consciousness is. So I think what all we are studying has, the roots are right there, what is there in our Upanishads, Puranas. So Bhagavad Gita is also not really teaching sitting and worshipping Krishna per se that way. Krishna shows his roop and he shows that everything is inside him, even Krishna is inside him. So it's like that. So I found that chapter very beautiful, though those verses are very, very difficult to pronounce.
Yes.
They're very difficult. But then, yeah, it's beautiful, fascinating. I mean, it is mesmerizing, that chapter. The Vishwaroop. Yes.
True. Vishwaroop.
That's the one, yeah.
Again, Vishwaroop is a metaphor. It's
Yes.
metaphoric. Okay. That if the enormity of cosmology, nobody understands, but it is there, everything. Similarly, when you go to chapter 15, for example, when it says supreme being, what is it? You are one root, it's a banyan tree. From
Yeah.
that one tree, it goes on, and many leaves, you don't even realize they're all part of that one tree, one root, right? And
Yes.
and what does it
the
say in chapter
upside
15?
down banyan tree,
Upside,
you're talking about
because,
upside
yes,
down.
it's
Yes.
because of hierarchy, right? From the
Yeah.
chairman, you
So
come
our
down, and
roots
that's
are
why
there, and like that, yeah.
all
Yeah.
leaves. And
Purushad
ultimately,
something,
Ashwamedha.
Adashakham, something.
And what do they say? You need an axe to dig the root and get to supreme. And what is that axe? Jhana, meditation.
Yes. Yes.
Right? That's what
Yeah.
chapter 50 says.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So, any of my friends, I think we'll go for a very short meditation today because we're enjoying this. So, any of your questions, anything you're coming to your mind, you can totally share today. So, meditation, you can even go on your self meditation today. That's not an issue at all. Let's just chat. Come on. So, for some of my friends who are still struggling to be consistent, they want to, they like it when they do it, as Latika said, but Latika is still trying hard. What would be your, I would say, I mean, with our own experience, like you all, I mean, like, how would you guide them?
No, I don't know how to guide them, but actually it's like this. If you want to do it, you can do it. Something always distracts. You don't have to see when a consistent. Usually it is good to fix up a particular time, like you normally, like you're brushing your teeth. Okay, at this time I will meditate. Once you do that, then not consistency come, then you can do it anytime you feel like doing, whenever you feel get the time. But in like a drill, like a practicing break, like a PT, initial stages, maybe you have to fix up time. You make a commitment to yourself. So look like brushing your teeth. 10 minutes. You don't even have to do 20 minutes. I'm going to sit now and meditate. Nothing is going to distract around this time, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, like we have heard about Swadhyaya, reading books. We have read so many books. I mean, we during COVID time, everybody had the time, and lots of programs were going on Zoom. Book reading. This that. That is what brought me into reading this genre of books, spiritual, scientific books, especially as biology is my subject, so I could understand Joe Dispenza very well, Dawson Church very well. So David Hawkins. So all these were beautiful books. How important it is to read these books, because again, some of my friends say, no, we can't read, we don't get the time to read. I wonder how come. I mean, I feel I won't say wasting my time, but yes, before this also I used to read, but I used to read a lot of fiction, literature, as you said. I've done postgraduate in literature too. I also had a lot of interest in English, so literature and all. So I wonder why. I mean, nobody really pushed me into reading. I wanted to read, and I mean, we read a lot. Me and my husband. He's also there on the group at the moment. We read a lot, and then we discuss. That's the one time we don't fight and argue, because we are actually doing Swadhyay among ourselves. We discuss a lot, and then he tells me, "You get this book," and then we read, and then we talk. So it comes very naturally. But how important is it to read? I mean, if some people are not reading, is it okay?
See, reading to me is very important, mainly because it's nothing but you are getting the experiences of somebody who has had this. Like we are talking now, you have understood my experience. So what happens, whatever book is this, even science, for example, it is somebody's experiences, who has experience, who has done work on that, who has research on that, and who is sharing one's experience to others. So by reading them, you get that information. And ultimately, I don't know whether you know, but when the final, the present state of understanding the universe is nothing but consists is information, consists of bits of information on the universe. It's on some kind of a surface, what is called the edge of the universe, which nobody knows. And what we see as matter is illusion, is a hologram. It's a 3D hologram extracted from immersion. You know what you have an information, you have hologram, you create an image. And this is just an image, it's an illusion. Okay, it's a hollow. It's created from information. So ultimately, universe itself is information. And information is important to us as long as we, as conscious beings, have to survive. So, and I do not totally agree. Yeah, you may not be able to read many books like some of us, because I've had from the beginning. Somehow I got into literature. I loved, though I'm a science student, I loved English literature, and we had groups with whom like-minded pair who could discuss for hours and hours together. A book like Pickwick Papers we discussed for a whole month, right? Because so enjoyable, so laughable. And one of our favorites was Samuel Johnson's Rambler, his Rambler essays, things like that. Essays of Elia. We used to discuss all these things. So I'm very fond of literature. Incidentally, if you want to know, I have so much interest in Macbeth. I wrote a spoof on Macbeth called The Trial of Macbeth, which was enacted when I was in college, which was enacted twice, and I even was given an award for that.
Wonderful.
Okay, that's how interesting it becomes when reading. So when people say I don't have, so you don't have to read that many, but reading to people who say I do not have time to read, I question them, because people who say who do not have time are the people who have all the time. People who do things, who say have the time, are people who are doing a lot more. How come? Okay, time is not your clock time. Time is a collection or a series or sequence of events. So if you said that right now I'm reading 3 books concurrently, so you would not bored with one book. Read a few pages. Nobody asks you to read a book completely in one day. Maybe as you go on, you become so much interested, you would love to read smaller books in one sitting, so on and so forth. That's what happens to me nowadays. A 200-page book, I would like to sit down and finish in one sitting. But otherwise, just read 10 pages a day. 10 pages is a big deal. Between your cooking. There's a beautiful book, How to Live 24 Hours a Day. I forget the author. Many, many years ago. There he recounts read booking. Say, for example, you're waiting for a train, the local train. Bombay were in a road trip. You're waiting for bus. You're waiting in airport lounges. Most of my reading are done in airport lounges. Right? You're waiting for a doctor's appointment. What do you do those things? Just read 10 pages, 20 pages. Once you get interested, you start reading. Right?
Yes,
and if you are one of those male chauvinists like me, husband waiting for the wife to serve, till she brings the food, just take a book and read 5 pages. That's it. Right?
Yes.
So I don't agree with people who say we do not have the time to read. It's not. And those who find it difficult to read, the audiobooks are available.
Absolutely. Now the things are different.
Go to YouTube if you don't want.
Yeah, just
these books are described in YouTube's. Summaries of books are there.
Yes,
but
I have read so many books. I mean, heard so many books while traveling.
Yes,
while driving. You're the Placebo. First, I heard it. Then I read it after that, because I really enjoyed it. So basically, you also get those books in your life. I feel the one which you really need at that point of time.
Yes,
so I started with You Can Heal Your Life, and then You Are the Placebo, Joe Dispenza. All Joe Dispenza books came in. Yeah.
I still do fiction, interesting fiction. For example, I found there's one called Murugan. What Murugan? I forget in English. I think he won a recently Booker Prize.
I think my father had this in his library.
Amazing. That's the translated thing. I read 2 of his books immediately. I enjoyed it. I read Chitra Banerjee's fictions, whether it is our most recent one was The Last Queen of us. then the Enchanted for Her Worship Ramayana, etc. They are called so-called fiction. I read detective stories because as an end, with all this, you need something in between.
You
Maybe
read
in
Archie
between.
comics?
Archie comics never. I always my afternoon nap. Before I sleep, I have to read Archie comics.
Wonderful.
That makes my
Yes.
life. Yes.
Yes, sir. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. So, sir, someday we are going to do Jonathan Livingston Seagull
We can do it.
with
Yes,
you.
we can.
That's a beautiful book, tiny book, and but real deep lessons, right?
Yes.
So, for people
Yes.
who cannot read big fat books, it's a tiny book. It's lying somewhere here. It's a real small book, and
I think I have it here.
yeah, it's a real small book.
This is-
Yeah, it's just a tiny thing, but beautiful. Yes, sir. So one of these days we'll do this book.
I'll do that.
Yeah. So anybody else? So today I think meditation, we will do our own self meditation. It is already 7:28, but we really had a wonderful time with you, sir. Though we have been
Thank you.
joining on so many platforms, but we never had so much time to talk and hear about you. So still anybody else?
Yeah, I wanted to ask
Oh
one
yeah,
more
your
thing.
hand
In
is
fact,
up. Yeah, right.
yeah, share one thing that synchronicity and meditation, do they have any link? Because I think my biggest takeaway has been the synchronicity from the meditation, and of course clarity also to some extent. But what is your take on this? Are they linked or it is just a coincidence?
I'm not sure whether it's linked, but synchronicities does happen. And probably because in meditation we become conscious, we reach that consciousness, synchronicity happens more often. And we used to also have synchronicity, but we used to just dismiss it as coincidence, right? But now we understand that it is synchronicity. We get to understand it more because of meditation. Yes, synchronicity happens a lot more. Our sitting together now to suddenly a synchronicity in that sense, right?
Yes. So mind to matter, there's a entire chapter on synchronicity.
Yeah.
So Mukesh, I think you've read that book or you've heard about it at least. There are certain experiments also given in it about synchronicity and a lot of things, the remote viewing, many things. But yes, meditation makes you a little more aware, I feel. So maybe that helps. We understand that it is synchronicity. This could, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that could be the thing. Okay, sir, I think we can close the session here today. And it was wonderful talking to you. And you're going to be there more often.
Can we just have a 10-minute meditation?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So will you conduct it or should I go ahead?
You please conduct just at least a 10-minute meditation.
Okay, sure, sir. Okay, so everybody, to conclude the session, we will go for a 10-minute meditation, being Guru Porrima and listening to the wonderful experiences of Sir. All of us, close your eyes. Sit in a comfortable position, whichever position you are comfortable in. And now we're just going to absorb whatever we have heard. So Sir's experiences has also authenticated that the power that has created us has given us the power to take care of our life. So today's meditation is going to be listening to a beautiful song of gratitude. We will be just offering our gratitude to all our teachers, mentors, gurus, sages who have been giving us abundant knowledge, explaining it, and helping us to live our lives beautifully. So we understand that life is actually a celebration and we don't have to take things so seriously. Whenever you are overwhelmed with problems, just zoom out and just see what you really are. Breathe in and breathe out. I will be playing this beautiful song of gratitude. As we listen to this song, you can offer your gratitude to any of your Ish Devtas, your gurus, your mentors.
साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरु को धन्यवाद, प्रभु को धन्यवाद, सभी को धन्यवाद, मुझको भी धन्यवाद। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरु को धन्यवाद, प्रभु को धन्यवाद, सभी को धन्यवाद, मुझको भी धन्यवाद। गुरु को धन्यवाद,
Today, I'm grateful for every opportunity I got to gain knowledge, wisdom, and experiences. I appreciate those who have come before me, my ancestors, wise teachers, gurus, and other guides who cleared my path. I stand on the shoulders of their sacrifice, resilience, and love. May I honor their legacy by passing forward the light. I am truly grateful for the many opportunities I've been given in life. The chance to pursue my education, which allowed me to gain knowledge and skills. I'm grateful that I was enabled to discover my passions. I'm grateful for my friends, from whom I learned new cultures, their experiences, I'm grateful for all the big and small chances and opportunities I got. Sincerely, I'm thankful for all the opportunities and gifts in my life. I'm thankful to the web of billions of neurons in my brain that grant me self-awareness. I'm grateful for my 5 senses. I'm grateful for unconditional love of my friends, my colleagues, my parents. I celebrate this precious life I have got. And my heart fills with love and joy when I appreciate life. I'm grateful for my problems because they helped me to begin this journey of self-awareness. I'm grateful for all my spiritual connections. I'm grateful for the divine grace and peace that I find through prayers and meditation. With a lot of love and gratitude in our hearts, let us slowly come back into the here and now. On a count of 10, we will open our eyes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Place your hands on your beautiful eyes for the last 2-3 seconds and welcome back. So let us express our gratitude for we are all blessed to be sitting here together today, listening to wonderful experiences of Sir. And this little short meditation was the perfect ending to today's session. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for being there. It was wonderful. It was totally wonderful. I'm getting messages of thanks also. Rachna, heartfelt thank you. Yeah, where is it? All the gurus on this auspicious day for their endless guidance and support. Thank Jagdish sir and Jaspreet ma'am. Thank you for being there. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.